Hello, everybody.
Hello there.
Hi, I'm Buster.
I'm Rosie.
She's Glenda, the lady in the middle.
Well, thanks a lot, Buster. We're going to read a very short story that I wrote last year.
Why are you waiting till this year?
I'm not. I read it last year, too.
Oh, well, let's get on with it.
It's called The Christmas of Three Trees.
3. Wow, I'd like that.
It would take up a lot of room. That's why in a dream it's okay.
Well, this isn't a big house. It's bigger than our doghouses, though.
Well, actually, he's got a tree on his doghouse. That's another tree. Excuse, I got an itchy forehead. Thank you, Buster. Okay, now let me read.
I want to hear.
Me too.
Why we decided to have so many trees that year Christmas, I don't know. But don't matter. We ended up with one scrawny tree.
A scrawny one?
Oh, that's sad. Maybe. We'll see. The first tree, our usual fiber optic artificial, we loaded with glittery Christmas balls of blue, green, red, white, and every color we could think of.
Like that one.
Yeah, but it don't really have very many Christmas balls on it.
No, it's got homemade stuff.
Okay. The bright filaments of light reflected color throughout the living room. In one corner of the dining room, we put up a 5-foot pine, which was decorated in the traditional way with a star on top. Homemade decorations filled with beaded bells, crocheted candy canes, painted Christmas mice, and many more for 3 generations of family.
That's what your family does.
And that's why it's in the story. The final tree would remind you of a Charlie Brown scrawny tree. It was a little bit crooked too. We decorated it with what lights it would hold and still stand up. I filled it with oodles of plastic candy canes and stapled the top to the wall to keep it standing. A paper angel with glitter hid the staple at the top of the little evergreen. I did forget to mention, we cut the scrawny little evergreen from a sapling in my parents' pasture.
Really?
Well, we used to do that when we were growing up. Only they weren't usually saplings. Anyway, we developed a tradition of stockings, and sometimes the stuffers didn't fit inside them. Everyone arrived and remarked how cheerful the house looked. They looked at the stockings under the tree, but the grandchildren knew not to touch them until after dinner. Our kids each brought something for my husband's and my stockings, and the festivities began.
Ooh, sounds fun.
As the 18 members filled our small house, the smells of turkey, ham, apple and cherry pies, and of course the usual pumpkin filled the house. I heard the first yell, "Get in here and get these stockings moved. The tree is shorting out and the one stocking is scorched," my husband demanded sternly. The rush to the tree almost knocked it over as the man of the house struggled to unplug it. Christmas balls fell on the floor and shattered. My fear of broken glass filled me with anxiety, and I screamed at all the children to stay away from it. After only 20 minutes, which seemed like an hour, the whole mess was gone. All stockings and gifts were saved and moved to the pine tree full of homemade ornaments. "Help!" my daughter called.
Uh-oh, what now?
That's exactly what I asked. "What now?" I asked, through my frustration at the interruption. "Needles are falling all over the floor. The tree is bare." "What?" "Yeah, the needles all fell off the pine tree. It must have got dry."
A bare tree isn't any fun.
No. Another tree, undecorated, and sent out the door with only a scrawny little sapling left. The homemade ornaments were taped to the wall around it to make it appear larger. Tinseled and filled with light from the color wheel, now removed from the original, saved the poor final cedar from extinguishing our celebration. Not one guest complained. The event became like a game. The table for the feast glowed with candles and reflections of the tinsel. A poster-sized picture now overtakes that spot where we stapled a paper angel atop a bright little tree. Once everyone explored their Christmas stockings, we all mused at the humble little tree as my husband read the story of our Savior born in an animal's barn. And that is the story of the three trees.
I kind of like the idea of that little tree.
Well, yeah, sometimes the smallest and the most non-assuming things can be the best.
Well, at least it didn't short or fall apart.
Nope, it didn't.
Now, what about this Christmas story?
About the Savior.
Oh, well, we're talking about Jesus.
Baby Jesus?
Yeah. Over 2,000 years ago, he was born in a barn.
Why a barn?
Well, because all of the people were told that they had to go to the city of their ancestors, which in those times, that's the way they did things a lot of time. And they were to be taxed.
Oh my.
Okay. The Mary and Joseph. Mary was pregnant with baby Jesus, but she'd never been with anybody.
Really?
She was a virgin.
A virgin?
Yes. She was conceived of the Holy Spirit.
Which is God, right?
Yes.
So is Jesus, right?
Yes.
So God came down and was born as Jesus.
Right. That's weird, but true. A little hard to understand for a lot of people, but it's true. They went to Bethlehem, which was the town, they said, was the city of David. And Mary and Joseph, though they weren't really related very well, they were both from the lineage of David.
How's that?
Well, David had been king of Israel, but many, 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 many generations earlier.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, many is a lot. Anyway, so the innkeeper, there was only one inn left because there were a lot of people from that town. And the innkeeper said there was no room left. There was no place to put them.
Well, what were they supposed to do?
Well, that's just it. See, Mary was she was about ready to have a baby.
Oh
The only place left was a barn.
no. A barn?
Well, actually, they called it a stable, but yeah, it's a barn. And so what they did was they filled a little feed trough, but it was pretty clean, with some clean straw. And they covered it with whatever they needed to cover it with. And when she had the baby, she wrapped him up in whatever she had to swaddle him with. And she laid him in that, what they called a manger.
Really?
Yeah. And the angels sang to the shepherds and told them where to find him. So the shepherds went and they welcomed Jesus. And there were wise men from the Orient who all had traveled a very long way. That's how Jesus was born on earth.
Wow.
And the angels said to us this day, a Savior is born in the city of David. And he is Christ the Lord.
Oh, wow.
I like that story.
Well, you know what? It's time for us to go because we went longer than I thought we would.
Wow.
Well, can we sing something besides our good night song? Like what?
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
and a Happy New Year.
Good night, everybody.
Be sure and tell somebody you love them. Christmas is about love and joy.
Yes, it is. It's not, we have presents, but it's not all about the presents, is it?
No.
It's about baby Jesus. That's right. So, I won't be back for a couple of days because I'm just going to let this be our Christmas present to you. And then we're going to have our Christmas and then we will be back. Thank you all for following us. And please do subscribe if you haven't. Give us a thumbs up. And come back again. Use that little bell. We will see you soon.